Welcome to the GCN Tech Show. This week we've got a new time trial bike, new tools, as well as some new pedals too. As well as all the usual favourites including the bike vault and your upgrades. Ooh. Let's do it then, mate.
I'm looking forward to this.
Firstly then, let's give a deserved mention to the new Cervélo P5 time trial bike. Now Cervélo, they know a few things about aerodynamics because after all, they were the real pioneers, if you like, of the aero road bike game, weren't they? Because, well, they had the Soloist that was released in about 2002. And then a few years later, well, it'd taken plenty of victories, hadn't it? Because the CSC team practically dominated cycling around that time.
Nice looking bike too.
Yeah, now part of the redesign of the P5, the new one, is in fact the cutout on the down tube there, just to get the front wheel nice and close, just to aid a bit of airflow over the rest of the bike.
Yep, there's also a redesign at the back around the seat tube and the seat stay joint. They've now lost that aero fin that they had there before, and it's a little bit more curved, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks nice there at the back.
Yeah.
Big fan of that. But the biggest change though definitely has to come from the new handlebars. It uses the speed riser system, which is new to me. Now, the idea, or the great thing about this really, is that it gets rid of all those spaces and wedges that, you know, loads of riders use, don't they?
Yeah, it's a bit ungainly, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, years ago, riders used to just get as low as possible, thinking, well, that was as fast as possible, so that works. But actually, it's not, is it?
No.
Because you end up losing loads of power, though you gain some aerodynamics. But generally, the offset is not favoured.
It's not worth it anymore, is it?
Exactly.
There's better ways of doing it.
So yeah, with this handy little bit of equipment, it works. Well, it works wonders, I think.
It looks good too.
Yeah, now it's held just in place with just a single wedge there. So if you're out on the road and you just want to play around with your position a little bit, you can just undo it a fraction, lift it up and tighten it, and you offset again. It's
one of those inventions that as soon as you see it, you wonder why no one else did it before, isn't it?
Yeah, at first I thought to myself, oh, that can't be very strong, how on earth would... But actually, you think about it, when you're on the skis there, you're not really putting that much power or
you're not
torque
pulling on them,
like
you're not stood up wrenching on them, are you?
No.
Of course, it's 22% stiffer in the head tube and 26% stiffer around the bottom bracket. It's also more aerodynamic than its predecessor, and in keeping with modern design ideas, it's only available in disc, which seems odd actually for a time trial bike.
Yeah, it baffles me really. The time trial bike is probably the only time where you think to yourself, well, don't really want to touch the brakes at all. Speed
adjusters, not stoppers.
Yeah, the only time it could be useful, I suppose, is in a time trial that's particularly hilly.
Yeah, but then, maybe wet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe a wet one. Anyway, right, skeptics, you can be at ease now because it looks like 12 speed is here to stay. And the reason being, Part Tool have just released 2 new tools to specifically work with 12 speed group sets.
Nice.
So we got a chain whip as well as a chain tool there. And of course, they're to deal with the narrower width of those chains.
Yep, Campag and SRAM now both have 12 speed group sets, and it's unlikely that they're going to go back to an 11 speed.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder what you'll do for a rotor group set though.
That's right, yeah, 13 speed. I don't know. If anyone knows, anyone's got one, or if rotor, if you're watching, let us know how we're going to work on your products.
Just file down a Part Tool one.
Yeah, something like that, I suppose, yeah.
Well, this is a GCN Tech Show segment with a difference. Firstly, because we're in the GCN set, but secondly, it's not actually the GCN set because we are at the GCN Mallorca live event. Reason being, we've been joined by Dr. Dan Reardon, who is one of the co-founders of FitnessGenes, which is a company that does genetic testing with a view to helping you improve your performance, improve your training, and potentially change your nutrition as well. So, Dan, this is a pretty, well, for me anyway, quite new strand of science, and I know very little about it, but it's very intriguing. So can you basically describe what you guys do and what you might actually get out of it?
Absolutely. Thanks for that introduction. So our focus is really all about how can we use genetic data, because there's lots of it, to provide actions for people that they can actually follow that are going to have an impact on whatever their goal is. So is their goal to lose weight? Is it to improve their cycling performance? Is it to build muscle? Whatever that might be, we're looking at traits or the way we combine genetic information with certain pieces of biometric data as well to construct actions that people can then follow to achieve their goals.
Okay, and so can you give us an example then of what you might actually find out from your genetic testing that you could then put into practice and potentially ride your bike faster?
Yeah, for sure. So I think that one of the traits that we've actually found people are quite receptive to is hearing about their caffeine metabolism.
Yes, I can imagine that.
Caffeine is quite interesting. Caffeine gets broken down into 3 substances: paraxanthin, theobromine, and theophylline.
Okay.
And the rate at which it gets broken down varies between people. And it varies in a couple of different ways. 1, it can vary because of how much coffee you drink.
Okay.
But 2, it can vary depending on what gene variations you have, specifically for the CYP1A2 gene. Now, there's been lots of research that has showed that caffeine can have a really positive effect on sports performance for some people,
right,
but not for everybody. Now, the positive effects probably come from where caffeine is broken down quickly and it exposes paraxanthin and theophylline. Okay. Theophylline helps relax smooth muscle, so it makes blood vessels bigger. And the paraxanthin helps stimulate through a reaction with the hypothalamus, pituitary and the adrenals, the release of adrenaline.
Okay.
That obviously gives you that fight and flight, want to perform type response.
Quite a bit to think about there. Now, you tested some people who have been at GCN Mallorca. Did you have to break the bad news to any of them that maybe their pre-ride coffee or their during-ride coffee was not actually going to improve their performance, even if it tasted really good?
Well, there's definitely one person who I'm going to be having a chat with about probably reducing their coffee consumption.
Really?
Yeah, just one person out of the ones we've tested so far.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, when it comes to giving this sort of information, it's especially with athletes, they rarely view things as bad, because everyone's here to try and improve their performance. So anything positive you can tell them, any positive information you can give them, is ultimately going to help them achieve what it is they're looking for, which is to be a better athlete. Really, the information that we're trying to look at is the stuff that is perhaps really additive to what people already know. So we're not really trying to figure out how cycling coaches should coach their squad, because they've got so many years of experience to know that. What we're looking at is the pieces of information that there is no way on this earth they could know. You know, knowing someone's nitric oxide production, knowing whether someone is at risk of zinc deficiency or magnesium deficiency, knowing if someone has an increased requirement for vitamin E in response to the hostility of the environment. All of these pieces of information that you wouldn't otherwise know, they're the types of information that we're trying to build. And I would say at the moment we have in the region of about 60 or 70 pretty impactful traits that can kind of give small bits of information that could have very, very small effects, or long term could have some quite significant effects.
Wow, it's a really interesting avenue to look at, isn't it? Thanks very much for giving us a very brief synopsis of what is, I would imagine, exceedingly complicated process. But yeah, thank you very much, Dan.
Thank you.
More tech news now, and US company TriRig, who make all sorts of time trial specific parts, have released a new armrest.
Yeah, that's right. So the new refined ergo cups, instead of using the round holes to attach them onto the handlebars, instead they actually use these oblong shaped ones instead. So that means you have ultra micro adjustability, which if anyone out there's ever ridden a time trial bike, you want it, don't you?
Yeah, they look really good, micro adjusting, you know, get your elbows anywhere you want them.
Yeah, and the really cool thing about this company is that when you start looking around at pro bikes, you know, the World Tour and such, you start to see their products popping up on different riders' bikes. And I think that's ultra cool that a really small company, which, well, I think they are anyway, you know, you've got the world's best riders wanting to use their products.
Yeah, that's really cool. And you see them grow over the years as their niche little product kind of makes its way into the mainstream customer base, really. Nice.
Yeah,
nice. Anyway, fresh news out of France now, and Look have released the Look Keo Blade Carbon Ceramic.
It's a mouthful.
It is a bit. And they say that their ball bearings in these pedals will last 4 to 6 times longer than the steel equivalent, and also they'll spin more freely on the axle, reducing resistance, friction. And particularly useful to those of us who live in wetter climates, the axle is guaranteed to be fully waterproof when submerged in water.
That's good news, isn't it?
Quite a claim, that.
Yeah, especially if you're a triathlete.
Yes, or you want to go aqua biking.
Yeah, never wanted to do that though. Anyway, more tech next week. Right, it's now time for the part of the show called Screw Riding Upgrades by Upgrades, where you could be in with a chance of winning the coveted GCN Workshop apron. And we've got a new one actually. I don't know where it is. Have you seen it?
I've seen one in the building. I've not seen one in the set.
Yeah, actually, I wore it when I showed everyone how to wash a bike properly. Just last Monday, actually, on the Maintenance Monday. So if you've not seen it yet, go and check it out, but not just yet. Anyway, how do you get to win one? Well, you've got to submit before and after pictures of your well, your pride and joy, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, once you've upgraded it. And the idea behind it is that the viewers then vote and they decide who wins, not us, which is nice.
No, we only try to influence you.
Exactly,
We're not really meant to do that.
Yeah, we don't feel guilty or anything. Right, anyway, first up, we need to announce last week's winner.
Yeah, it wasn't close, was it, John?
It wasn't, no. Go on.
81% of the vote went to Ken's Lightspeed.
Yeah, well done, Ken. Get in touch with us on Facebook and we will arrange one of those workshop aprons over to you. Right.
Let's get the laptop in.
Let's do it for this week.
Right, this week is Martin from London in the UK and his Specialized Langster.
Nice.
Martin hit a pothole and came off his bike and he broke his collarbone. Ooh, nasty. 2 months in a sling and bored, Martin was searching the internet for any bike-related deals. He stumbled upon this Specialized Langster for £80, good value.
Bargain.
The plan was to tidy it up and sell it. Martin decided to strip off the paint and expose the raw aluminium. And the more he sanded it, the better it looked. Martin sprayed the forks in matte black and ordered some decals and then coated the frame in a clear lacquer. Fitted some new components and turned it into a road bike.
There is before the old short-stemmed beast.
Yeah, that actually looks quite cool.
Yeah,
you can see why.
Twitchy handling that would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't be much
Such
fun,
a short stem, no. No brakes as well, so yeah, strictly not road legal.
Yeah, and then we can see it on the kitchen table. I'm sure that went down well with whoever you live with.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Been there, done that. Got the hit round the back of the head.
He's not joking.
Yeah.
And then finally,
look at it.
Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it?
I love a bare aluminium frame.
Yeah. Big
Actually,
fan of that, yeah.
It's a brave thing to do, but it is
good.
really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
How do you maintain that? Have you had to re-lacquer it, or are you going to let the, what do they call it, aluminium worm? Sometimes you get to see those little...
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Have you ever seen it like when, it starts to like bubble, doesn't it, underneath the paint, stuff like that, and eventually it just collapses into dust.
John, don't tell Martin. Anyway, Martin, that's really cool.
Yeah, right. Well, Martin is up against Tom from Pittman, New Jersey, in the United States of America. Now, Tom decided to start upgrading his 2001 Trek 5200.
Oh, nice. Oh, I remember that carbon frame.
Yeah, replaced pretty much everything. New Zip 404s with some Michelin power competition rubber, Eastern carbon bars, Control Tech stem and carbon seat post, new saddle, new Tiagra crankset, new shifters, all new Shimano Ultegra cabling, one new Shimano 105 R7000 rear brake. And that is when Tom decided he wasn't satisfied.
Oh, Tom.
After all that time, effort and investment into this bike, he got one front breakaway from completely overhauling the bike and decided it was N+1 time. That is a nightmare, isn't it? It's a slippery slope now, Tom.
Yeah.
In comes a new Trek Meadow SLR6 disc in a matte grey and metallic silver colour. Tom couldn't be happier and now has two amazing bikes to choose from, depending on the weather.
Well, that's sensible.
Yeah, I like that Trek, that first Trek. I really like that with the white bar tape and white saddle.
Well, it comes from an era that was quite fascinating in pro cycling, really, as well.
Yeah.
OCLV carbon.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely love them.
It's a lovely shaped frame. You know what? I'd be really curious.
We haven't even talked about his new bike.
I know. We all know what those bikes look like. They're nice bikes. They're great bikes. They're fast bikes. I would love to know how it feels going from one to the other, because there's a huge leap in engineering between those two bikes.
Both like range topping bikes as well, aren't they? Do you know what? We don't try and influence it or anything. But Tom, personally, I prefer the 5200 than to that new Meadow. I don't like the colour of that.
There's a little more character to the 5200.
Yeah, and you've got all that way, and then you just...
Well, I suppose Tom's kind of submitted two bikes there for you to vote for, isn't he?
Yeah. Anyway, well, we're not going to decide, are we?
We're
Vote
not.
up there.
Bike of the week time now, and we have to announce last week's contenders, and it was Greg Van Avermaet's Giant up against Elia Viviani's Pinarello.
Oh.
And coming away with a very slender 51% of the vote, it was the Pinarello of Elia Viviani.
There we are, the track bike wins.
Yeah, I'm not surprised though, that was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, they're two kind of different golds as well, weren't they? Because like Viviani's was really metallic, whereas Greg's is quite sort of like, well, just a bit more subdued, I guess.
I think if it was my bike, I would have gone for Viviani's. As in, like, that sort of effect if I was an Olympic champion.
Yeah, definitely. I would have probably painted myself gold as well.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, this week then, the contenders are, well, first up is the Trek Meadow of Yolanda Neff of Trek Segafredo. I think that bike is a stunning looking bike.
I'm looking at it right now on my laptop, and it is beautiful. It looks amazing.
The logos on that bike, I really love what they've done there to match up with the normal team kit. Of course, she's the Swiss road race champ. Got full SRAM Axis group set on their Bontrager wheels. And it's up against the bikes of EF Education First, Cannondale System 6. This one belonging to Simon Clark. Great looking bike, kind of tie-dye, using the old school Cannondale logo on there too.
Yeah, I like that logo. Big fan.
Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? Shimano Dura Ace group set, both of them as well, got disc brakes, and both of them have got Vittoria tyres.
And they're both aero.
Yeah, but who's it going to be? Is it going to be that Trek Meadow, or is it going to be the Cannondale System 6?
I think I know the answer to this. But it's not up to us to decide.
There, yeah. I wonder who you're going to go for, actually.
I'm going for the Trek, John. I just think the white bike and those colours.
Yeah, I quite like the old school Cannondale logo.
Yeah. Well, there's things about both of them that I like, but
yeah,
my vote goes. You can only choose one.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Can't influence the votes, Chris. No. Right, now time for the Bike Vault, the moment of the show where we rate your bikes either nice or super nice. Of course, they get a super nice, well, you get a ring of the big old bell, and I think Chris is going to be the bell ringer this week.
Sweet, I love ringing my big old bell, John.
You do, yeah. Now, if you... Steady on. Right, if you want to stand a chance of getting into the Bike Vault, all you've got to do is submit pictures of your bike and make it look as bling as possible. Well, actually, no, you don't, do you? It's not all about bling bikes.
Just a picture that shows your bike clearly.
Yeah, we bang on week in, week out about how to get super nice. And well, some of you listen, some of you don't.
And there are no rules. If you played the game that Hank and I played last week, then you're likely to get a very good super nice.
Yeah.
Quite easily. It's a good game, that, John. You should try it sometime.
Yeah, I should. So make sure you use the uploader tool down there in the description below so you can upload pictures of your bike. Right, so this week, Mr. OP, he's back. He's been in Mallorca. He's refreshed. It's time for him to, go through this week's contenders.
Right then, first up, we have Konstantin, Larry versus Harry Bullitt in Geneva, Switzerland. And I chose this one for the Bike Vault, John, because I like it. It's a time trial bike.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
A delivery bike.
Yeah, that is absolutely a time trial bike mixed in with a cargo bike.
Yeah, he's been using it for just over a year. He's only just taken a few pictures. Halo rims, supernova lights, Dura-Ace, Alpine Di2, 11-speed drivetrain.
So he's got Di2 on that.
Yep, I'm not quite sure how that works with an Alpine hub.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, they make an Alpine hub. Yeah, the Di2 one. Yeah.
Oh sweet.
Yeah.
That's I never knew that. And a belt drive, which is great. Low maintenance.
I'm lost for words, so just give a ring of your bell.
Who's up next?
Oh my word. Well, this is Chris. Where's Chris from? Near Vichy, or Vichy, I think that's in France, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vichy. It's a Look KG85, full Dura-Ace rolled saddle. Apparently bought it for a very reasonable price. First ride with it, fantastic ride. That bike, we've seen a few of these recently.
It's a bit of resurgence, isn't it?
And I was looking for one, and I just couldn't find any information on, basically I was trying to find the one that Eno used all along back in the day and just couldn't find much. But now it seems like they're all coming out of the woodwork, everyone who's got one. The only thing I don't like there is the use of the helmet as a bike stand.
No, okay, it's not great.
Yeah, I don't like
that. It does detract a little bit,
but you know
not
what?
About the helmet.
That's just a beautiful, it's a really iconic bike. Yeah, that's getting the super nice from
Yes. That was easy, wasn't it?
I shouldn't say it though. Right, go on, who's next?
Bit different. JP's 58cm Boo RSX. He's in Cherry Creek State Park, Aurora.
Where's that? Colorado, is that?
Colorado,
yeah, looks like Colorado.
Well, this is pretty cool if you ask me.
Yeah.
It's Crush King headset, MV4, Campag Chorus 11.
You don't see much Campag on bikes, do you?
No, not that generation either, actually.
No.
They're they looks completely different to the modern day Campag stuff. Some Reynolds Carver wheels, that sort of thing. Avid BB7s.
Thompson stem.
Oh, I do like Thompson stems,
really nice, aren't they?
Especially that layback seat post he's got there.
Yeah, they always look funny because they look like they're bent, don't they? I mean, they are bent, but they look like they've been bent.
Yeah. It's a bit different, that bike.
Yeah, it is.
Don't feel the pressure, John.
I just like bikes side on. Unless there are certain really fancy angles, that's not quite at that sort of aspect.
No.
You know, you get some and they're like more like 45 or more.
But it is a multi-tube type bike.
Don't feel the pressure, he says. He's like zooming in on it. It's like that. He's like, it's a multi-tube bicycle, utilising carbon fibre and bamboo.
Right. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's still a nice bike. It's still a beautiful bike. It's just not quite super nice. Right.
Next up, we have a Bottecchia.
Oh.
Don't see them very often anymore, do you?
Don't, no.
Alex from Brill Windmill near Oxford.
Oh, nice part of the world.
Not a million miles away. First evening ride of the year after taking off the mudguards from the commute home. The bike has a tatty mix of Campag and Shimano, but a nice wide gearing and it all works smoothly, which is fair enough. He's put some clear nail varnish over any chips. Old school tip there.
Yeah.
Still preserve the rat look, as he calls it.
Make it less stealable when parked in town while keeping the surface rust at bay. I like that. That's a nice bike, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like that.
It's nice. It's kind of... Look at the bar angle though.
Yeah, I know. I didn't notice that.
Maybe rotate it around a bit.
Get right in the drops.
Part of this pains me really because
Stunning frame.
Such like an iconic bike that, or you know, like the Bottecchias from around that period with Le Mans riding on them, but it's just being sort of almost left to rot. Yeah, it's a nice bike. Is it super nice though? I don't know.
Well, it doesn't feel like you're giving me that vibe, John.
No.
No matter what, Alex, great job for using it.
Yeah, nice bike.
Right, here we go.
Oh, now we're talking. Right, so Bjarne, where's Bjarne from? Okay, just reading between the lines a bit here. Bjarne said that this bike was rebranded a DBS for the Norwegian market, so pretty sure that's where Bjarne's from.
Safe bet.
Anyway, it said Dacordi. Now, Dacordis, they were beautiful bikes. Oh, I don't know if they're still around.
This one still is a beautiful bike.
Well, this one still is, yeah. Either way, he's at home patiently waiting, or impatiently waiting for the snow to melt. He says, sorry for the non-drive side picture, but he feels the wonderful 90s paint job needs the spotlight instead of the admittedly very shiny and nice Dura A7800 chain rings.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, it's a good point, but I do like a bit of 7800.
You know what I like about this? And I was a user of these wheels in the past, and I didn't like them on my bike.
Yeah.
The silver Hunt rims. They're modern rims.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
And on this is the perfect application for them. This is how they should be used.
But you know why? Because he's got silver stem, probably
and
bars.
Chrome seat stays and forks.
Yeah, oh, that's so good. Yeah, at first I thought they were a pair of Shimano's and I got very excited.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, still a great... I think that's people out there are going to be going absolutely crazy if I say this is super nice. Because they'll be like, oh, it goes against all your rules. But, well, we write the rules, don't we?
So we get to break them. Come on, John.
Exactly, yeah.
Ring the bell.
Can I?
Yes.
Right. Bjarne, you're lucky, my friend. You just got very, very lucky. Right, so remember, if you want to get into the bike vault, what do they have to do?
Use the uploader tool in the description below and submit it.
Yeah.
And we will trawl through them, and we enjoy doing so every single week.
Get involved.
Yes, please do.
Right, there we are. Nearly time for the end of the show. But don't worry, because we've got heaps more great content coming up this week, haven't we?
Yep. Ollie is over in Taipei as we speak, filming loads of stuff, which will be sure to appear on the channel later.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, because I've never managed to go out to that show.
No, I like the bright lights and the bikes. You know, they're quite cool as well.
Yeah, easily pleased, this lad. Yeah. Right, and also we got Ollie's bike where he tackled Sacalobre. He tried to get up there in under 30 minutes. Find out whether or not he did this weekend.
Yeah, monumental effort on the bike and also off the bike, transforming that into a lightweight climbing bike. That was cool.
Yeah, as well as, well, people are actually going to see if we could turn a cheap bike into a super bike in terms of performance.
Yeah, this is the big one, isn't it? And I cannot wait. I get to ride it tomorrow, don't I?
Yeah, you're really excited, aren't you?
I am, yeah, because you completely transformed that bike.
Just don't crash it.
No, I'm not going to crash it, but I'm going to ride it pretty hard.
Okay, just go faster. Right, okay, so remember what to do. Like and share this video with your friends. And why not check out the GCN shop at
shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com.
We've got loads of stuff for you to check out, haven't we? Yeah, and why not, for 2 more great videos, well, click on him.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
And on for the other one on John.
Yeah.